Evening, welcome to the Derby debrief from RamsTV. Owen Bradley with Shaun Barker alongside, here to reflect on Derby's defeat at Shrewsbury this afternoon. The Rams' unbeaten run is ended, a 1-0 defeat for Derby. Conor Harahan's second half own goal. The difference between the sides, Shrewsbury had a controversial penalty blazed over the crossbar in the first half as well. We'll touch on that a little bit later. You'll hear from the head coach Paul Warne shortly as well. We'll start with a word from Barks, as we always do. Obviously disappointing. What else is there to say?
There's probably quite a lot, to be honest. Yeah, first it's context of the game. Shrewsbury's a very, very difficult place to go and get a result. They make it difficult in terms of sitting back and keeping their shape, and they haven't scored many goals this season, but have made it very hard for teams to go there and pick up results. We've been excellent away from home. We know that, and I kind of felt that we were coming into this game full of confidence, full in belief that we could turn up and get a result. That's not the case. It's not the case in League One. It's not the case at any level. And for me, the disappointment was the first 45 minutes of lack of aggression, desire, competitiveness, duels. And if you look at a Paul Warne side, that's what he bases his team on: energy, desire, competitiveness, and making oppositions work for a lead, work to stay in the game. For long spells, I don't think we did that. The second half was better. It was a bit more open. We could have got something from the game quite easily, and I think we had the chances to get something from the game, but we could have easily lost by 2 or 3. So we didn't have control over the 90 minutes. There was disappointments, there was frustrations. I can understand from a fan's point of view. So yeah, there's lots to talk about, but there's definitely a penalty awarded to Shrewsbury to talk about too.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a few moments. Let's hear from Derby's head coach. Now, here's Paul Warne's reaction.
Paul, thanks for joining us. A 1-0 defeat to return to action after the international break. Not the result that you wanted. What are your immediate thoughts after that?
Probably the same as every fan who turned up. Like, disappointed. I thought we weren't aggressive enough first half. That was my big bugbear, although we had moments in the half. Obviously rode our luck. They missed the penalty, which wasn't a penalty, quite obviously, so that upset me. But then they had a good chance after that. And then the second half, obviously they got their goal, and weirdly it looked like it took the pressure off the lads. I made changes, I'd been as aggressive as I could, made the subs, and they all had a positive effect, and it was sort of, obviously we were open to the counter-attack, but I'd rather lose 3-0 than 1-0 and not go for it. We created enough chances to maybe win comfortably, but we just didn't take them, and that's the frustration, because I don't think there was loads wrong. Obviously there's parts of our play, you kick it out of play, or there's always going to be that with any team, but we created enough chances to win, and we didn't even take any to even just get a point. And sometimes when you're away from home, you just got to take your point and take your medicine, and it just felt like we could still be out there now and we wouldn't score, and goals change games, classic. But they do, and we just didn't take our opportunities today, which is disappointing.
Sorry, there's a lot of flies around. Can you immediately think, is the one thing that you can put that down to? Because clearly you've got players that have scored goals over their career. Is it sort of confidence thing? Is it something that you're able to put your finger on? Because you've created in a lot of games this season a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, I think today's game is probably a microcosm of our season, really. When needed to, good teams find a way to win, even if they're not playing great, and I didn't think we were playing bad, but we didn't find a way to score. We created loads. I don't think the lads lack confidence, although I made a sort of tongue-in-cheek answer earlier that it is the elephant in the room, but now it's like the herd of elephants in the room. We have to take chances if you want to win a game, and we can't ask our keeper to bail us out every game. You just got to be a lot more attack minded, but it's like everybody. I've said this in many interviews, everyone has a responsibility, and I think today not all our chances fell to our strikers, and it's just disappointing. I don't think the lads lack confidence. They've trained really well, looked really sharp, but we are lacking that cutting edge to our play.
clearly everyone's frustrated. It's the first defeat since the start of September. Is it a key part of your role now just to make sure everyone just keeps calm? Because you've said you don't get carried away when you win. It's your first defeat for quite a while, that you don't get too downbeat because you've got a game on Tuesday at Pride Park against Exeter.
Yeah, we have many conversations with the players in groups and in teams and all that. And like I said, there was parts of our play today that was good, very good at times. I thought Birdie was electric. Thought he was our best player by a country mile, really. But we do have a game in 3 days' time, so I'm not going to rip the group open. I don't think there's much wrong. Our bench was the strongest it's ever been, hence why the changes I can make are, should turn the game, and they did. But I could be doing this interview and we'd scored in the 75th and the 89th, and it would be like, what a great game. Although we conceded, we'd done really well, and I do think we did. But we have to do better. And the longer the game goes on and you don't score, the more the opposition are thinking, wow, we're doing well, we're keeping Derby to 0-0 here. And respect to the opposition, they're a really good League One side. They're difficult to play against. They're on a good run themselves, although we did come in here with intentions to win. We didn't set up to, sit behind the ball and draw. We tried to come here to win. So, the lads will lick their wounds like I will tonight, and we'll hopefully have a performance on Tuesday night that leaves everyone well happy. We've scored 10 goals or something, and we've just used them all up in one game. But that is how sport is, that is how football is. I wish I had the magic wand to say exactly what's wrong, but fundamentally we have to be more aggressive and we have to be more ruthless, and we can keep saying the same things, but it needs to change, because we're losing points, dropping points unnecessarily. I don't think anyone could leave here today thinking that we were the second best team on the pitch. I'm led to believe their goalkeeper got man of the match, which seems to happen a lot against us. But we need that to change, because we are dropping points when our performances possibly deserve more.
That's Derby head coach Paul Warne. There'll be more reaction from the squad in a moment or two. The goalkeeper did make a couple of good saves. Joe Wildsmith made some as well. But the big moments, the goal and the penalty decision. The goal first. Maybe a touch of fortune about it. In the end, it comes off Conor Harahan, although Tom Bayliss did his best to claim it. But Shaun, Shrewsbury had other chances as well.
They did, and I won't say a touch of fortune, because there was probably 3 or 4 instances in midfield down the right for someone to put a challenge in and make a tackle. That was my bugbear of the game, until I think the changes were made. It was too much space in midfield. I thought we got overran, out-muscled and bullied at times. And when there's a chance for a ball to go into the box where Harahan is competing with Bayliss, at that point, what have you done to stop it getting in the box? And there wasn't a challenge for, I think, 5-10 seconds before that. And it wasn't the first time that we'd been threatened to have a ball in the box without somebody getting tight, someone being aggressive, someone making a challenge. So it was disappointing, of course. And we made a few changes, and it just seemed to lift us. It seemed to galvanise us, and all of a sudden, front foot, landing on second balls, pressuring them further up the pitch, being relentless with pressure, and that's where Paul's talking there. There was enough chances to get something from the game. I'm not denying that. I don't think anyone else can deny that. Both keepers had good saves and were busy, but could we have done more in the opening 45 minutes? Yes, we could, and we could have done more in the situations where they had chances around our box. So there was definitely some disappointing things throughout the game.
More on the general performance in a moment. Ultimately, the penalty decision in the first half doesn't matter, because Bayliss misses the penalty and Derby concede anyway to lose the game 1-0. But have you seen, and can you remember, a more ridiculous penalty decision? I mean, every time you watch it and every angle you see, Max Mata challenged by no one, down he goes, penalty. Yeah,
and the position of the referee was spot on. So as the Shrewsbury player went down, it looked like he'd been either caught, or he'd clipped his own heel, or he'd caught laces or something, because he fell down so naturally. It didn't look like he was trying to fake it, but you see it from different angles. I thought instantly nobody's near him, so it can't be a foul. He must have tripped over his own boot or something like that. You see it from 3 or 4 different angles. It was a ridiculous decision, and unless the referee's certain, and he's looking at it and sees contact, sees a foul, he should never even give it. And to put on top of that, he was outside the box. So remarkably unforgivable decision from the referee. Unfortunately for us, just before half-time, he misses the penalty and it keeps it 0-0.
Yeah, and ultimately it doesn't matter, of course, as Derby lose the game regardless. Joe Wildsmith had to make a couple of fantastic saves. Let's hear from the Derby keeper.
Today.
Really disappointing result for everyone. Everyone in there is really disappointed, frustrated. Just obviously not what we were after today. Difficult place to come notoriously, but we felt like we definitely had enough in the game to sort of come away with at least a point. But obviously it's just disappointing to obviously concede the goal the way we did, and at the other end I think Marco's made a couple of great saves, to be fair to him, and on another day they might go in and it's a completely different game. But frustrating to come away from a game where we have created chances and sort of come away with nothing. So yeah, the lads are really disappointed in there.
As has been the case in pretty much every disappointing result you've had this season, it's been a case of fine margins. How difficult does it make it to keep the faith when it seems to keep going that way?
Yeah, I mean, the lads are together, the group are all together, and we work hard every single day in training. It's not a case of the fact that there's no sort of drive to get to where we want to be. It's promotion's the aim, and that'll always be the aim, and obviously it's difficult when we do drop points, but I think it's even more hard to take when obviously there are chances in the game and it's not a sort of one-way street. So yeah, really disappointing and obviously frustrating, but we've got a chance to right a wrong on Tuesday straight away. Hopefully get a good turnout down at Pride Park and get the fans behind us and hopefully give the fans something to cheer about and come away with the points.
As well as bouncing back from today, you'll want to correct the home form and get it something like it was last season, where Pride Park was really a fortress for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, of course, and I think especially at points this season, just that little bit of rub of the green and refereeing decisions have maybe not gone straight our way, and yeah, I feel like something will come. We will keep working hard. We'll put the work in every single day on the training pitch, and it's not like we're not in games, and it's not like we're not sort of creating the chances that we need to create. It's just that final little maybe decision, rub of the green, goalkeeper makes a good save, and then it's our job at the other end to sort of try and keep things as solid as possible, and maybe that's not really happened that much this season. So it's just a case of giving ourselves the platform to build, and then giving ourselves that platform at the back to let the boys up front and midfielders, wingers to express themselves and create the chances and hopefully start putting some chances away. But we won't stop to try and improve and get better at how we play and how we take our performance to the teams we're playing against. It's just a case of sort of persistence and being patient, and our time will come.
As a group, do you prefer having a game to go straight back into after a result like this?
Of course, I think it's good to not dwell on what's happened today too much, and there's no better way to sort of focus on another game in 3 days' time rather than 7 days' time. So it gives us a chance to look back, look at what happened, how we can improve, and then straight on to how we sort of come up against Exeter and how the best way to get 3 points against them is. So it's probably the best sort of scenario that we can take from today, is the fact that we have got that chance to right a wrong straight away on Tuesday and really sort of try and give the fans something to cheer about.
That's Derby goalkeeper Joe Wildsmith. For results from elsewhere in League One this afternoon, all the games survived the weather somehow. Bolton winning again, beating Northampton. Burton Albion go 8 games unbeaten They beat Bristol Rovers by 4-1, 4 for Charlton as well in their big win over Reading, who really looked to be in trouble. Cheltenham had their first win, a 1-0 victory over Cambridge. Wigan back to winning ways as well with a victory at Exeter. Only a point for Oxford United, a 92nd minute equaliser for Jordan Rhodes, earning Blackpool a share of things there. A point apiece between Peterborough and Wickham as well in one of the games of the day. And Portsmouth, a 93rd minute winner for the leaders, who continue to impress. Their unbeaten run goes on, and 3 more points for them. It leaves them top of the League One table, 3 points clear of Oxford United, although they have played a game more. Barnsley, Bolton, Peterborough, Stevenage are the top 6. Derby dropping to 11th today, 4 points out the playoffs and with games in hand on the sides above them, but still disappointing stuff for Derby. At the other end, win that takes Shrewsbury a few places up. Wigan making progress in the right direction as well. Without the points deduction, they would be out of the bottom 4. Fleetwood, Reading and Cheltenham, the other sides down there. And that's all from us for now. We're back on Tuesday night, of course. If you want more reaction between now and then, you can get it on the website, dcfc.co.uk. From me, Barks, and the team, goodbye.
Waghorn's on a hat-trick! A first-half hat-trick for Martin Waghorn.
And that will break here for Mendes Lane. First time ball back in. Collins on the turn! And it's Derby County that have the lead. And James Collins has the goal.
And look who it is! Corey Smith, his first for Derby County.